Everyone, in this video we are going to discuss few topics from the chapter Circulatory System from the book Concise Biology, class 10th. And the topic which we are going to discuss today in this video is clotting of blood, that is the function of platelets, which means coagulation. In our previous videos, we have discussed about blood, different parts of the blood and the components of the blood, for which just watch those videos to get the information on that topic. Now, moving on further, let's see the clotting of blood. How does the blood clots? Usually, when a blood vessel is cut, blood comes out of it. And soon after some time, you see that a hard structure is formed on the cut part and the blood stops coming out of that part. If the blood stops coming out from that part, it means that the blood has clotted at that region. The clotting of blood helps in stopping the flowing of blood from the body. Otherwise, the blood would have flown out to a great extent and there could be a shortage of blood in the human body and it will be difficult to survive for a person without a blood. Therefore, to stop the flowing of the blood, blood has the capability to clot itself, that means coagulate itself. So the second word is coagulation. In this topic, we are going to discuss how the blood clots or what is the different procedure which helps in the clotting of the blood from the injured part. Whenever there is a cut on the human body and the blood flows out, the platelets, which is the cellular part of the blood, at the site of the cut or wound secretes a substance which is known as thrombokinase. This thrombokinase is also called thromboplastin. This substance is produced by the platelets at the region of cut or wound. So whenever blood flows out through a cut or wound, these platelets at once secrete this substance which is called thrombokinase or thromboplastin. This substance which is called thrombokinase, it acts as an enzyme and involves calcium ions which is already present in the body, and it converts a substance prothrombin which is already present in the blood. Means to say, the thrombokinase which is secreted by the platelets, it tries a substance prothrombin which is already present in the blood with the help of calcium ions to convert that prothrombin into a substance called thrombin. The prothrombin substance is actually an inactive substance, and this inactive substance is changed into an active substance which is called thrombin, and this is done by the substance called thrombokinase. So whenever there is a cut, the platelets will secrete a substance thrombokinase. That thrombokinase will take the help of calcium ions and it will change the prothrombin substance which is already present in the blood and is inactive into a substance called thrombin which now becomes active. Vitamin K, and this is a fat soluble vitamin, this is involved in the production of prothrombin in the blood. This prothrombin is changed into an active substance called thrombin. Now, further, this active thrombin substance It again takes the help of calcium ion and it reacts with the substance which is soluble in the blood, and that substance is called fibrinogen. This fibrinogen is already present in the liquid part plasma of the blood, and the thrombin which was produced from prothrombin with the help of thrombokinase. This thrombin, it takes the help of calcium ions and it reacts with fibrinogen which is soluble in the plasma, and after reaction this soluble fibrinogen is converted into insoluble fibrin. This fibrin, the product, is actually a solid substance, and this solid substance fibrin, it forms thread-like structure, and those thread-like structures, they stick to each other, and this forms a mesh-like structure which is actually called clot. The blood cells are trapped in it in the network of fibrin, and this network squeezes and shrinks rest of the plasma which is in the form of the clear liquid and which is called serum. Means the plasma without fibrinogen is called serum. When this serum is liberated or extracted, the solid fibrin, it forms a clot-like structure that is actually called thrombus. The clot is called thrombus. Now, this clot is a solid material which does not allow the further blood to come out from the blood vessel of the cut region. Taking up the summary, let's see. Here is the injured part, and at this injured part, the blood platelets present in the blood, they produces a substance called thrombokinase. That thrombokinase reacts with the help of calcium ions to an already present substance in the body, in the blood, that is prothrombin, and it is converted into thrombin. That thrombin again reacts with fibrinogen which is soluble in blood plasma and converts that fibrinogen into thread-like structures called fibrins. These fibrin threads are sticky in nature and they stick together to form a mesh-like structure which is called clot, and hence this coagulation helps in prevention of the flowing of blood from the injured part of the body. On this page, the summary is given with the words how thrombokinase is produced at the injured place, how this thrombokinase converts prothrombin into active thrombin, and how this thrombin reacts with soluble fibrinogen and converts into insoluble fibrin, and how fibrins stick together to form a mesh-like structure which is finally called clot. This all process needs calcium ions for the reaction for the completion. Moving on further, let's discuss an experiment for the blood clotting in a test tube. For this, let's see it that in a test tube, a blood is taken, and after few minutes you will see that a clot starts appearing in a test tube, and if a long wooden stick is stirred, then the clot starts sticking to that wooden stick and finally it settles down in the test tube. This clot is containing the cellular portion of the blood while the liquid portion will be squeezed out, and this liquid portion, which was initially called plasma, is not having fibrinogen in it. That is why this plasma is now called serum. The fibrinogen from the plasma is being utilized in preparing the clot of the blood. Therefore, this liquid portion plasma is now not having fibrinogen in it, and the plasma without fibrinogen is called serum. Now let's discuss a disease which is related to blood platelets. The disease is called hemophilia. It is a genetically disorder which is transferred from parents to offsprings. In this disease, the blood does not clot properly. And if by chance a person gets an injury, then a person may die because of the continuous flow of blood and due to the shortage of blood in the body. Here, the hemophilia disease says that blood does not clot properly and the blood flows through the injured part of the body. Here, one more thing we have to remember, that if the number of the blood platelets in the body decreases, then also coagulation occurs very slowly. Means blood clots occurs very slowly, and this often leads to a disease called hemorrhage. Here, the count for the blood platelets is less, and because of the less blood platelets, the coagulation is slow, and the condition is called hemorrhage. Such type of condition is usually seen during viral dengue fever, which has taken hundreds of lives in Delhi and other states in India. And these all happen because of this situation which is called hemorrhage, in which number of blood platelet counts becomes very low. Moving on further, let's see the different types of bloods and which blood group can be given to which person. Means blood transfusion. Blood transfusion is the process of injecting blood into the body of patient undergoing surgical operations. The transfer of the blood is called blood transfusion. The person who donates the blood is called the donor, and the person who receives the blood is called recipient. Here we have to understand that that any person cannot give blood to any person. This means only specific persons can give their blood to a specific another person. There are four different types of bloods which we are going to discuss now, and these blood groups are blood group A, blood group B, blood group AB, and blood group O. The blood group A has antigen A in it while it has antibody B in it. Blood group B has antigen B in it while it has antibody A in it. Blood group AB has antigen A and B both while it don't have any antibody in it. The blood group O don't have any antigen into it, while the blood group O have both types of antibodies, that is antibody A and antibody B. Because of this reason, it's very difficult to transfuse the blood from one person to another. Hence, we can say only specific persons can give or transfuse their blood to another specific person of specific blood group. Here, we have to understand the antigens. The antigens are actually the proteins which are present inside the human blood. Therefore, we have just now understood that blood group A has antigen A, blood group B has antigen B, blood group AB has both antigens A and B, and blood group O don't have any type of antigen in it. Means these are the specific proteins present in specific blood group. There are two types of antigens, that is antigen A and antigen B. And the blood plasma contains the complementary proteins, and these complementary opposite proteins are called antibodies. And we have discussed that blood group A has antibody B, blood group B has antibody A, blood group AB don't have any antibody in it, while blood group O has antibody A and antibody B in it. Hence, this four systems of blood is called ABO system of blood. ABO system means blood group A, blood group B, blood group AB and blood group O. Hence humans are having these four types of blood groups. The another factor which is countable over here is RH system. This is also the most important. According to ABO system, which we have read right now, we have already studied that there are four types of blood groups: blood group A, blood group B, blood group AB and blood group O, having specific type of antigens in it. And the second factor says the RH factor, which means RH positive or RH negative. This RH positive and RH negative factor will be studied later on in this video. First of all, we should understand that which blood group can donate to which person. Here, the blood group O is a universal donor. It means a person with blood group O can give or transfuse his blood to any person having any sort of blood group. This person having blood group O can donate its blood to the person having blood group A. He can also give its blood to a person having blood group B. He can also give its blood to a person having blood group AB. While the person having blood group A can only donate his or her blood to the person having blood group AB. The B blood group person can also donate his or her blood to the person having blood group AB. But the person having blood group AB cannot donate his blood to any person, because he can only and only donate his blood to the person having blood group AB only. He can't donate his blood to person having blood group A. He can't donate his blood to a person having blood group B. Hence, we can say that a person having blood group O is called universal donor, because he can donate his blood to anyone, to the person having blood group A, blood group B or blood group AB. While the person having blood group AB can donate his blood to only a person having blood group AB, but can receive the blood from all the blood groups. Hence, a person having a blood group AB is called universal recipient. Here, it is given in the form of table also that which blood group can be donated to a person of which blood group. So this table can be studied to just remember that which donor can transfuse his blood to which blood group. Moving on further, let's study the second factor, that is called the RH factor, means RH system. This RH factor actually stands for a name called rhesus, and this name was of a monkey on which first of all this RH factor was discovered, and thus the Rh factor was named on behalf of his name's discovery. When the blood of a particular individual is transferred to the another individual, we have to count this Rh factor so that the transfusion can be done accordingly. According to Rh factor, there are two types of factors. The first is Rh positive factor and the second one is Rh negative factor. The blood which is having this Rh rhesus factor is called Rh positive, and the blood groups which are not having this rhesus factor are called Rh negative blood groups. Thus, we can say that ABO blood system also considers the Rh system along with it. This Rh system counts a lot for the transfusion of blood, as this says that Rh positive factor can't be given to the Rh negative factor person, while Rh negative factor can be given to a person having a blood group with Rh positive factors. This has to be understood and remembered that a person having any particular blood group, if Rh factor is present in that person, then that person can donate his blood to a specific person having a particular specific blood group with Rh positive factor only. Rh factor positive can't be donated to a Rh negative factor. Here, moving on further, we can see some effects of Rh positive factor which can't be given to the Rh negative one. And the examples considered here is the Rh factor in pregnancy. This says that if a Rh negative woman is carrying a fetus in her uterus, he should not be transfused with the blood having a Rh positive factor. If this thing happens, then the Rh negative woman will possess or produce the antibodies which will interfere with the blood of Rh negative woman. The another thing to be considered here is if Rh negative woman marries to a Rh positive man, then the man will possess Rh positive factor in his sperms also, and when the transfusion takes place, when the fertilization takes place, the Rh positive sperm combines with Rh negative egg of the woman, then Rh positive factor will interfere and produce antibodies, and those antibodies will interfere with the blood group of Rh negative of woman. Hence, the antibodies are produced in the body of the mother, and if the second child is conceived, as the blood of the woman is already having antibodies because of the first pregnancy in her body, then it may lead to the abortion or the missing of organs of the fetus. Thus, an Rh positive man should never marry a Rh negative woman, while he should prefer to marry a woman with the Rh positive factor. That's all in this video.